How's it, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome back to another episode of Geeking Out, where we basically discuss everything nerd and geek related. I'm joined here by a returning guest you may remember from when he was on for Cosplay Con Talk. I'm joined here by Spackled Muppet Fart, aka Steve. But instead of talking about cosplay, we are going to be talking about his collection from comics, toys, memorabilia, signed autographs, you name it. So, to begin, how long have you been collecting for, and what got you into collecting?
Wow, you see, tricky. So collecting for me started obviously as a kid with Star Wars toys. So the first thing you want to do is get them all, right? So you wanted to get this craft, you wanted to get that craft. If you had this, you had to have the figures. So collecting really started with Star Wars for me, um, and it kind of got crazy for a while. And then I tried to get myself out of it by collecting tattoos on myself instead. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to stop buying these toys. I'm going to just spend my money on something which is permanent and awesome, and then I'll get off. And I did, and I kind of got myself out of it for a while. And then it came back. And it came back because of my love for the Stormtrooper and anything Stormtrooper I had to collect.
I mean, you
And
have like a giant, you have your stormtrooper armor in the background.
right, and that's the one I get to wear, right? So that all started in 2015 when I joined up with uh, the 501st Legion, so I could get to be a stormtrooper. It's fantastic, and then obviously that led to things like bucket heads, and I got to really be a stormtrooper, run around in the woods, shoot people who fall over. So that was great. But yeah, collecting for me now has really transpired into something a little bit different. It's not one thing anymore; it's multitude of things, and I once I start, I just need to get it all.
Oh man, do you remember what the very first thing you got as a kid that was Star Wars related?
Star Wars related.
Yeah.
The one I have a really fond memory of is getting the land speeder. My brother gave it to me as a Christmas present, and it was probably the biggest thing I can remember him getting me as a kid. And I was so surprised because it was something I really wanted, and it was the old, 1970s land speeder with the gear shifter in the middle that you could pull up, and the wheels pop down, and they still bounced on the wheels. And oh,
Oh,
it was
I
awesome.
see. Yeah, I think this is
Yeah, yeah, that's like that one looks like a remake. This was the original Kenner.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen this gal, she collects a shit ton of Star Wars stuff online, and
Right.
she actually has a land speeder.
Yeah. It fits all the 3.75 figures. You would put Luke in there and C3PO and stick R2 on the back, go pick up Obi-Wan and roll that
Oh,
thing around.
that right there?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the one I showed you was like when you can actually drive. This is like the actual
No,
toy.
no, 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 no. This was like, yeah, and then that had like such a vivid and keen memory for me. And I think the bug really started to kick back in again. And I think what really drove it home was when my parents thought that I was now too old for toys. So all of my collection, and I had a lot of stuff, and a lot of it I was doing through swapping with friends and stuff like that. It wasn't just that we had a load of money or anything like that. It was swapping with friends and getting your collection up to speed. And they gave it all away. They gave it all away when I was in my drinking teens, and I've never been able to look. I always want to get the things that I once had, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a mental thing.
I get that, but it seems like, over the past few years you've been recollecting. I mean,
Oh,
the behind you kind of just shows, and I know that the stuff behind you was not cheap either.
yeah, and so I have a little nerd group of friends, and we all collect. So that in the past few years has fueled a different kidult as we're now known as, right? It's the kidult phase
You have
of
adult money, you can
adult
basically buy
money.
whatever if you
But
want.
people like Hasbro have cottoned onto that, and they said, okay, all right, well, let's bump the prices up then. And now, a figure that was 9.99 is now $45. So
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, for me, my what I'll do now, and again with my friends, and now we're in different countries as well, so we all still bait each other almost with, "Look what I found. You need this," and then you use your friend's money now to buy the toys, and you then ship it over to them if they want it. So it's such a fun way of doing collecting now for me, but yeah, the Hasbro kind of. I mean, we're kind of flip flopping all over the place, but yeah, the Hasbro thing kind of killed me. Even though I got some behind me, the funny thing, I don't know if anyone sees this with what you're recording, but um, the Rebels collection of Hasbro six Black Series
Oh,
Rebels.
and the Black Series is not cheap.
Right, and that was my last. That was the last thing I wanted to buy Hasbro, and this was before they went cardboard boxes, no plastic. Can't see the figures anymore. I mean, I like this display style of it. I
Oh
think it
yeah, I
looks
mean, yeah,
nice,
I
the
mean
bookcase
that's
style.
nice.
But the other, yeah, that was it. And luckily, a good friend of mine, Paul Sungung Lee, who you might know as Captain Carson Taver or Mr. Kim from
Oh,
Kim's Convenience.
big angry Yappa.
I agree. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Part of this clique and this crew, along with Ryan Dole, who does a couple of podcasts out there. Um, he found me my chopper, which sounds terrible when you say it like that, but I've been looking for a 6-inch chopper for a while,
Oh yeah.
and Paul found me a 6-inch chopper. So that my whole Hasbro journey now has come to an
I
end,
mean,
and
not
I
to
keep.
mention we get to see a live action version of Chopper soon in the Ahsoka
I
series.
know, right? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that
Get
crazy?
to see
Yeah.
everyone's favorite
Which is
angry Astro
which
Droid.
is why I wanted to get these guys, because as soon as it comes out in live action, a lot more people's eyes will focus
Oh,
on it. Not everyone's watched Rebels, right? So,
oh yeah, and not to mention people are going to be building their own choppers to take to con.
mm, yeah, I'd like to see that. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, and speaking of the cardboard, they even have the ones where it's the cardboard you can't see the character unless you open it like a book, and
That's what I
then
mean. To me, that's just not fun. I mean, there's a lot of debate going on about it online. Collectors are not happy about it. At the end of the day, I guess you got two sides of the spectrum. You've got the people that get the boxes, rip them open, and have the figures out on display. And I know plenty of people that do that.
I mean,
The
I did that. I did that as a kid.
dirty, filthy openers, right? Dirty, filthy openers. So,
Uh,
but for me, I kind of like the aesthetic of the box.
oh no,
So
it
you've got.
looks
I like it.
it
I like
looks
it.
it looks nice. I mean, when you're a kid, you want to open it right away, but when you're an adult, it's like I don't want to have it on the shelf collecting dust.
And that's
Just
what
look
it
pretty.
does. That's what it does. And then, God forbid somebody knocks into the case or the cabinet and they all fall over and it's
Oh,
just a pain, right?
I've
So,
seen videos of like what happens.
yeah. 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 So, I mean, again, not to flip flop all over the place, but journey started with Star Wars. It's kind of ended with Star Wars in some respect, but for me, it's always anything Stormtrooper, anything white and Stormtrooper, I'll get. That's my kryptonite. Ali, she's like, you've already got a Stormtrooper. I've got hundreds of Stormtroopers, but that one I don't have, right? So
Well, at least, and the best thing, at least your wife, supports you in your hobby. And that's what all that should matter, though.
interesting point of view. I'm sure the support is there because I'm still getting them, but deep down inside, I'm pretty sure she wishes I was spending that money on something else.
Yeah, fair enough. So I have like three categories of things
Yeah.
about like each figure. So what's like the most cheapest thing you've bought out of your collection? Like the cheapest thing, the most expensive, and what you find of great value, even though it's not worth a lot, you still find it of great value.
Um, I don't really know I don't know what the cheapest would be. I mean, I got something the other day, and again, as for me, collecting isn't just Star Wars either. It's for me, it's the genre of the movie that I'm into, and it's also become characters of movies that I've cosplayed. So if I'm building a cosplay of a character, it's because I enjoy that character and I want to personify that
Like your
character. And
cable, for example.
yeah, great example. So anything now cable wise, I want to snap up, right? Especially the movie version of the one I built. It's the
Ah,
same for Corbin Dallas, right? It's the same for Ash from Evil
Deadpool.
Dead, and I'm fighting Deadpool, and I'm finding myself attracted to getting whatever I can find of those guys and having other little sections. And I think I gave you a few example of those. Of
Oh yeah, I mean you got,
one shelf is this, one shelf is that.
and I'll be showing pictures of like different ones. Yeah.
But here's the cable they released at
Ah,
the
Marvel
Marvel Legends.
Legends.
So I had to get that, and well, not recently, I acquired what I call the next stage of collecting, which is hot toys, which is an amazing uh, collecting hobby. I'd much rather spend a couple of $100s on a hot toy than a couple of $100s on eight or 10 of a series from Hasbro now of repaints. So but yeah, I just got the cable, the Hot Toys cable. Man, that thing. I am. it's kind of weird. It's kind of like going on a date with that thing. I am trying to find some time to open that box and go through all of the really cool intricacies about that figure, and I haven't done it. It reminds me of that 40-year-old virgin where he prepares himself in his bedroom with his lights dimmed and his candles lit, ready to watch his first adult movie. I need time
Oh
with my
no,
hot
that
toys.
that that makes again that makes perfect
But
sense.
cheapest I would say is I went to a because I've got to find all my local new toy places now. I'm in the LA area, right? So I
We have
went
a
to a place called
you have like a wide variety of stores now.
I went to a place called Blast from the Past in Burbank. Great store,
Ooh,
and
look at that.
I saw something in there for like I think it was 199. I think it's 199 or 299. Very cheap. And what it was Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark. You remember the scene with the one wing, two propellers,
Mm-hmm.
the single wing. What do they call that? I don't know what they call that. He has the fight with
Oh
the
yeah.
guy. I saw a little tiny model of that and I loved it and I bought it because it was Indiana Jones and it was cool and it was $2. So that's the cheapest thing I can remember buying at this point.
Oh, oh, that's a Lego version.
No,
Wait.
I don't know where this is. I've been doing some research. I think it was a Burger King giveaway. I'm not sure.
Oh, oh,
I
okay.
can't find what it is.
I mean, I'm looking.
It's not that.
Okay.
It's not that. That's too cool. That one's really cool. This one was tiny. This one was about this big. It's crazy. I'd say that's probably the cheapest thing. And I guess apart from that, it will be single figures of stormtroopers. That you can pick them up pretty cheap too if you go in any sort of bargain bin single unboxed figure.
Nice. Now what's like the most expensive thing you've bought?
Oof. I mean, the hot toys are expensive. I mean, cable was expensive. I think I toy wise, it was probably the no, it was probably the hot toy. That's probably the most money I've spent on a single toy.
Wow, yeah, I'm looking up like for example, Hot Toys Miles Morales with the Bodega cat suit with the spider cat.
Mm.
304. Fuck, yeah.
Yeah. But
They're not cheap.
when you think about it, right? Let's just say, for example, there's an 8-figure series of Hasbro. They're going to bring out, I don't know, Solo, or they're going to bring out,
Which are mass
little-
produced.
they're going to bang out a number of figures in that series. And if you want to collect that series, like here, the Bad Batch, for example, I wanted to get Bad Batch because I love the Bad Batch. You've got to buy 8 or 10 of those figures. So at $45 a pop, that's expensive too. And I
Oh yeah.
honestly, with what we're getting at Hasbro now, I think I would rather spend $300 on a hot toy. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, and plus the thing with Hot Toys, they're very detailed.
oh, so detailed. The face sculpts on them are amazing. The intricacies, like I say, behind them. I mean, one of Cable's guns, you can cock the little handgun. You can flip up. You can do so much with it. They have buckles that are operational. It's incredible the detail that goes
Oh,
into
I mean
sideshow stuff.
that's why they go for so much.
Right? And I don't know if you got time for this one, but
Oh
here's an
yeah.
example of this one. This one was another um, amazing, generous birthday gift. Um, portray.
Oh.
No, it was. I was just so blown away with this hot toy because it reminded me of the character I did in Bucketheads, right?
Oh,
So,
that's right. Yeah, you're doing yeah, you did the actual like suit for Mark's character.
but I don't know. I don't. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if you can see this, but this weapon that he's holding, the E11 blaster, is so detailed. Hang on, I'm gonna try not to rip and break anything. It's so detailed that you can actually fold the stock.
Oh, that is so
You see that?
cool. Yeah, wow. Yeah, and I can't imagine how long that took to make just to
With
get all
it,
the intricate details. I
and it
mean,
clips together, and it's just like the Sterling submachine gun. It is incredible. It is absolutely incredible the detail that goes into those toys. So
oh yeah, no, I mean, I can imagine, and I can see why they don't make a whole lot. Maybe like a select few, because again, they're not. And it's not. I imagine it's like it's a team. One person is.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're a collector out there and you've always wondered about should I, it's expensive. I would say yes, you should, but you should substitute your Hasbro's for it. That's my point of view. That's my point of view. But yeah, that's probably I think they're the most expensive.
Oh, I
They're
believe
the
it.
most expensive.
Now, even though it's not worth a lot, what's the most valuable one to you, or valuable ones to you?
Um, Valuable to me? That's a tricky one. I think anything of my Empire Strikes Back collection, anything original that I still got. I've still got an original Snowspeeder. I've still got an original Millennium Falcon. Um, they're near and dear. Um, I think those would be the closest ones, the original ones that I've managed to still keep. That would be the ones that I would say the most valuable to me. Valuable in price for people out there, like to buy and stuff. You don't know, right, until you come to sell it. I mean, I keep looking around, I know, just for some inspiration on that. But um, I was lucky enough when they didn't do celebration in 2020, because I'm a massive Empire Strikes Back fan. I mean, one of the pictures I sent to you was I collected all the 40th anniversary Empire carded 6-inch figures, and anything Empire to me, I have to get. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I'll be showing a bigger picture.
yeah, it's difficult, right? You got to put those things somewhere, so they're all out on display. So the reason I say that is because when we didn't get to go to Celebration 2020 because of the COVID,
Pandemic.
um, they didn't get to sell all, didn't get to have that celebration of Empire, which sucks. But one of the things you could do if you had tickets was enter competition, and I managed to win a glow in the dark Funko Obi-Wan Kenobi, and now that thing's
Ooh,
just shooting up in value because everybody wants one of those. But to me, it's really not about the money. I don't buy this stuff because I think if I keep hold of it, it's going to be worth something and I can sell it. I buy it because it means something to me and I want it and I want
really
to keep it. So I would say the originals. The originals have a really
nice,
good place in my heart.
nice. Now, does she collect at all?
She does not, which is why I laughed earlier when you said you get the backup for it. She doesn't understand the collecting part of it. I kind of push her a little bit into collecting because if I see a figure of something she's cosplayed, I'll go out and buy that. And then we have this shelving unit that we will put our figures, our characters that we cosplayed on,
That
and
is
it's really cool
that does sound really cool,
because you
man.
sometimes get gifted them too, right? So it's nice to put the cosplay ones out there, and then you've got your special little shelves of stuff you've actually portrayed. I like that.
Nice. Now comic books. What's it been like collecting comics?
I'm not a massive comic book reader. I'm not a massive reader, full stop. For me, it's visual. I love movies. I love the visual aspect of movies. I have got comic books. The ones I can, I guess it is a comic book, but I bought the graphic novel Preacher. And
Ooh.
if I don't know if you remember to when we've had that talk first of all about cosplay, the Preacher, the Jesse Preacher, was the first cosplay I ever did at a
Yep, with the
convention.
black curly hair based off the one from the
Right,
comic,
and that
not
was,
from the TV show.
when I was a kid, it was always the Marvel comics, the Spider-Mans, etc. That was the things that I would have occasionally to read, but I never had collected and followed a story through. But I did get all the Preacher ones. I do like the Deadpool ones. Um, and the latest thing I can say I went out and bought was the Marvel Star Wars um, Scar Squadron
Ooh. I mean,
storyline.
speaking of like, Deadpool and everything, are we gonna be showing a bigger picture?
Right.
Oh
So
man.
that's another thing which yeah. And again, there's a few signed pictures and photos in there and things like that. So um, it's more different genres for me. I can't help it. It just if you're out there, and I love going toy hunting. I just got back this weekend, which I don't know if it's one of the questions you had as I keep talking, but I've just I mean, I don't know if you ask anyone else this, but do you ask the question, what is the one thing you want? What is the one thing
I've
that you
never asked that actually.
Okay, so here's a question for you to take on from now. What is a collector's, what is their holy grail? What is the thing they're looking for? What is the thing they want to get on the list, top of the list? And I don't mean going to eBay and buying it because that sucks. It really
I mean,
does.
with the expensive stuff, you're in the bidding war.
Right, and I don't enjoy
And the
that.
next thing you know, you spent $900 like on a Black Series Darth Vader
Yeah,
movie accurate helmet.
yeah. And if you really want it, then you got to do it. But if you go around different comic book stores, you go to toy fairs, you go to conventions, you may find that thing you're looking for. And to me, that's the thrill of the chase and the whole point of collecting for me. It's that going out there and searching for it. And just this last weekend, I went to this. Have you ever heard of a place called Frankensons?
I have not.
It's in California. It's like the same size as a Costco, and it's full of It's like a convention. It's full of little stalls and stands of
Wait,
different
wait,
toy
what's it
vendors.
called?
Frank and Sons.
I'm looking at it right now. Now continue.
It's just a
Frankenson's Toy Store,
yeah,
Frankenson, City of Industry, California.
yeah. It's
Looking
amazing. It's
at holy crap.
right,
And they even
right.
have like, oh yeah, you were not kidding. It looks like a convention
Yeah,
center.
yeah. I generally will spend 3, if not more, hours there.
Yeah, I mean, for example, if someone like for like they even have D&D stuff, they even have
Yeah, yeah. They got all the cards for all the Pokemon cards and
I
all the
may
rest of
have
it.
to
Comic books.
if I'm ever down in LA, I'll definitely have to I'll have to stop by here.
It's out near Pomona. So yeah,
Okay.
it's an amazing place, and it might be a little bit more expensive there because you're pretty much guaranteed to find what you need to
Oh,
find. But
it's
there's
just
really awesome
I could see
collectibles.
like a toy convention going on there.
It is a toy convention, 3 days a week. It's incredible, and
Oh,
it
wow.
does rotate too,
Oh,
because
okay.
they keep buying
Frankenstein
people's.
collectible show. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's
If I'm ever
it's
down
definitely
there,
worth a
I'm
visit.
definitely
Definitely worth a visit.
I'll have to read it.
But for the longest time, I've had this holy grail, which I've told the guys about, and everyone tries to help everyone out. Like right now, we can get to that later. But we're looking for this new product that's coming out, this new thing that's really getting our juices flowing. But I've got everyone looking for a 2002 Star Wars Hasbro box set, and it's a 2 box set of the trash compactor. Box number one has Han and Luke. Luke's got the Dianoga tail around him, and Han's trying to rescue him. Box number two has Chewie and Leia, and there's a little Dianoga head sticking out and having a look at them. So if you get box one and box two, you can combine them together and get a great diorama of the trash compactor. Plus, if you want to, you can take the 2 pieces of Dianoga and put it together and get a full size Dianoga. So this isn't like a huge set. It's just under 3.75 figure size, I would say. And I've had the 2 troopers. I've had Luke and Han for the longest time, probably since
Oh,
2002. There you go. There you go. So you can get it on eBay, but I refuse to do that.
oh
So
yeah. It's
my
yeah, right. Like it's like $130
yeah,
on eBay.
yeah.
Yay.
So I've had one of them I've had in my collection for the longest time, and I've never
And that's
found number
basically what
two.
it looks like combined.
Yeah,
That is
cool,
cool
right?
though.
Isn't
Oh
it
yeah.
cool? So that's been my grail, and the guys have known it. And every time they go to comic book shows, every time they go to a comic book store, they'll have a look, and we'll see what we can get. Um, but I found it. I found it this past weekend. I was in one of the shops that we go to all the time. We're looking around for anything that takes your fancy, and I looked up, and there it was behind another box above me, and I saw two of two, and I nearly wet my pants. And you know that moment where all the blood drains out a little bit, and I turned around, I said to the guy, can you get your ladder? Can you get your ladder? And he brought it down. He said, "Oh, it's open. It's been opened." I'm like, "Oh, oh." And we looked at it, and all the pieces were loose in there and stuff because it had been opened, but all of the pieces were there. It was more intact and better shape than the one I had here, and I got it for $20. And my life was complete last weekend for a little while. So yeah,
Nice.
there's no better feeling. There's no better feeling. So talk about close, near and dear to your heart. I think that one is the one I'm proud of at the moment of getting. I'm very, very happy to have found it.
Nice. Now memorabilia and autographs. What's like your favorite movie memorabilia piece that you own?
Oof. All my Star Wars ones that I've actually got. I think my favorite, hands down, has to be Carrie Fisher. I got an autograph picture of Carrie Fisher, not at Celebration, but through a friend who was a makeup artist back in Vancouver. She got to work with Carrie on a local production. And of course, she let me know that she was working with her, and I was giddy as a school kid, right? There was no way I was going to actually get to meet her at this particular thing because it was filming. But we did choose a nice photograph, which would be, pleasant to take in. And I got a personalized autograph from Carrie Fisher because my friend was telling her about my Star Wars tattoos and how into Star Wars I was and what a big fan I was, and it's such a shame we couldn't get to come and meet her. So she just signed it to To Steve. Love those tattoos, but she spelt tattoos wrong. Put in brackets, shame I can't spell it, and then said Viva La Force Carrie Fisher. And that's probably My favorite, because I didn't have to pay for it, I didn't have to line up for it, is very
Oh,
personalized.
uh,
But
that one
yes,
above
so
the
it's the one above
Boba
Jeremy
Fett
Bullock. Yeah,
for anyone. Oh, like I
yeah,
said, I'll be showing a better picture.
yeah. That's my favorite because that
Oh,
means so much. It means so much, and especially now we don't have her any longer.
I
It's
mean, you got
so special.
got the guy who played Palpatine, Boba
Yeah,
Fett,
yeah.
R2D2, again,
Kenny Baker. Yeah,
big angry Appa, and Ming-Na Wen, who played as
yeah,
Fennec Shand.
yeah. Yeah, I got friends who will collect every person that's been in Star Wars, and they'll take binders to the events, and they will collect everyone's autograph. Doesn't matter if you're a bit part or a stunt guy, they'll want everyone's autographs. But for me, it's the ones that I want to get. I was disappointed not to get Peter Mayhew's in person. I
Oh
did get
yeah.
to meet him, but I never got his autograph. I always feel a little bit odd, um, lining up and getting autographs. I get stage fright. It's
Oh no,
crazy.
I get the I get the feeling, when I met C. Andrew Nelson, who played as Darth Vader, and I got to interview him at a con. It's like it's intimidating.
Yeah,
Like you played as Darth Vader in the special edition of Empire Strikes Back.
yeah.
Hi.
No, it was cool. Meeting Ming Na Wen was fun too. That was in Fan Expo in Vancouver last year,
Nice.
and also Emily Swallow, which was I got her to sign her. This is what I like about these cases too. These
Oh,
ones,
the armor.
yeah, the ones
Yeah,
that you
the
can pull out.
oh, that
So
is cool.
what I got done was I took this with me and I got her to.
This is the way, Emily. That is awesome,
Yeah, so
man.
I'm kind of proud of that one too. So if you know you're going to meet someone, take the box because it's a much better than a piece of paper.
Oh, I believe it. So I know you make stuff, and you make stuff based off from movies. What's a prop that you made that you would consider a collectible?
Oh, interesting question. I don't know if anything I make would ever be collectible. That's the thing. Um, what would, yeah, I don't know. I collect everything prop wise that I make. I have a little gun rack above me here that I keep everything on. So
Nice.
I made Princess Bride swords. I made the hilt for Inigo Montoya, and I made the hilt for Joe Pirate Roberts, and made them out of kids' toys so I can take them to a convention. And I made the hilts out of Warbler and hot glue, man. It was nuts. And then we got them signed by Carrie Elwes.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so I'm super proud of those. And for me, I wouldn't get rid of them, but I would collect them, I guess. I guess you could say that's collecting.
Nice.
I've got Cable's gun, which was a full rubber cast from the prop house that did the Deadpool movies in Vancouver. They donated me a copy cast from the cast, and that's what I wear. That's what I take out with my
Nice.
cables.
You see, I think
Go
it's
everywhere.
cool that like you have these connections with people, and you don't even have to ask them. They'll like talk to them. It's like, hey, I have this friend. Can you sign this thing? 'Cause, you get some of the mail from your friend signed by so and so. That's pretty cool, though.
And then that's one thing I would love to do. During the COVID years, we never got out to meet him, and I had to kind of do that send-in autograph for
Mm.
Josh Brolin, and I really wanted to meet him. But one of the things, if that ever comes up again, I would love to go in as Cable, and I'd love to get him to sign that weapon. That would be so cool. And again, I don't know if anything else would be deemed collectible, but I
Oh
save
man.
everything I make. I'm a collector. I save everything I make.
Oh
Doesn't
yeah, no,
matter what it is.
I'm the same way with my with the prop I have that I bought offline that I would love to get it signed as well.
What's
And I
that?
still
Which one is that? Are you
oh
going to leave us hanging?
I've showed it before, but I want to get Mark Mir and Jennifer Hale to sign my Omniblade from Mass Effect.
Oh, well, Mark usually gets to a lot of conventions.
I don't know if I mean if he ever comes down here in Oregon, that'd be pretty cool. But it all depends. And I also have to say, even though it was your costume, I think having like that stormtrooper as a statue in the background is pretty cool.
Yeah, I do that. That one I've changed lately. I've made that one into Sergeant Krill from Scar Squadron, which is from the comic books. So I did that for celebration. I changed the best breastplate and the ab section. I made the communicator for the arm. So that one's a little bit different at the moment. That's why he's carrying a lightsaber. But yeah, I still am very happy to have been Mark's body during COVID until he could get out and actually do episode 3 where he reveals his face and you know who he is.
I can't.
So
I
episode
can't.
3 now is going to be all Mark Meer with his glorious long dark hair
Oh
fluttering
yeah,
around
I
everywhere.
can't wait. I mean, the guy even played as Joker in a Batman fan film called
Right.
Gordon.
Oh, and you're gonna do an interview with those
Oh
guys, right?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
giving with the creator. Looking forward to that. But that's enough about me. So one last thing before we do this, what
Yeah.
advice would you want to give to those who want to collect, like who want to
Who
get into
want to
collect?
collect?
Yeah, who want to get into collecting? What
I
advice
don't
would you
know.
like to?
For me personally, I would say do it because you enjoy it. Do it because it means something to you. Don't just do it because you get the FOMO of not having. But it's those two things are very, very close together, right? Once you start and you see something come out, you get the FOMO that should I buy it? Should I buy it? So I think first and foremost is you've got to have fun with it. You've got to have fun with it. And having these groups of friends that are into it as well really, really helps. Um, I can't tell you how uh, joyous it is to get together every now and then and discuss what it is we found, go through the finds, and even with a distance between you, you can do that over like we are now on Zoom,
Oh yeah.
and just that constant communication of look what I found. Do you need this one? I really enjoy that. So I would say do it because you enjoy it. Um, I think that's got to be the main thing.
Oh yeah,
But
I wholeheartedly agree, man. That's the point of this segment is for people to show off their stuff, and I mean the name as well, geeking out. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
oh,
Yeah. And again, it doesn't have to just be one thing, right?
oh no,
Um, there's so many different genres that I love to collect stuff to do with.
nice. So I forgot to say it in the last episode because I remember saying that first episode. To quote General Grievous from episode 3, what would you say is the fine addition to your collection?
Interestingly enough, on my last trip back to Vancouver to see my nerdy friends, my buddy Ryan Dole, had been given a collection of old toys. Um, and the amazing person that he is, he graciously gifted me an original 1979 land speeder,
Oh,
which I've
the
which
one you were
I've talked about forever to people because of that memory I had as a child, and it's in perfect condition. It has the window on it.
if you have a picture of it, feel free to send it through so I can show it off.
I'll send you a picture of me holding it. How
Oh,
about that?
that works. That will
Yeah,
work. That will
yeah.
work.
So that was
That will work for the thumbnail.
yeah, that is very meaningful to get that as a gift. Um, and it's very meaningful because of what it means in the past. So to have it in such perfect condition, it just brings back a ton of memories. I think that would be the one.
Oh, I wholeheartedly, man, that's again, that is really cool. I'm not gonna lie. That you get you get the chance to collect these things. I think that should about do it again, Steve, man. Thank you for coming on to show off your collection of stuff.
Hey, no problem.
Can't wait to see what other stuff you collect later down the road, and can't wait to see what other stuff you collect for you and Allie's cosplay figure collection.
Yeah, we got to crack on and get some more costumes made, man. Con season's about to get ready and start.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah, can't wait for con season up here.
but I would say to anyone out there that loves the Star Wars stuff, if you haven't heard of them yet, it's a very, I would say, cost-effective way of collecting and having fun. Is the Micro Galaxy Squadrons. Have you heard of those guys?
I have not.
Micro Galaxy Squadrons. I'll give you an example here, and this is the thing that's getting me and my friends all excited at the moment. It's a not bad priced um,
Oh,
replica vehicle from the Star Wars
kind of reminds me of I've showed it
galaxies.
off before.
But yes, yeah. So they're almost the same size as you remember Micro Machine stuff.
Yep.
It's almost the same size of that, but they scale it up with these little tiny figures.
Oh
And
yeah, I've seen those.
right, and you get the rare chases, you get rare ones, you get all sorts of stuff, and they're pretty reasonably priced, from like $14 up to $40 for a fully working with sounds Millennium Falcon type deal. Um, but there's enough out there at the moment that we're all going crazy trying to get them all, and it's a lot of fun. And they also have blind boxes for anywhere between I think $6 to $9, and they have speeders. So I'll give you an example of that because I know you're on video. So this is what I mean by the speeders. So if you have a spare, if you go and buy yourself like I did when I would go away working and get bored and fed up, I go and buy supplies and I come back with couple of blind boxes, and what you get in the blind boxes are these.
Oh
They're
yeah,
little
I've heard of blind.
speeders.
You don't know what they are until you open it.
Right. So now this one's a rare and chase one, which is the IG-11. Um, so you could,
Uh,
yeah, it's just addictive, man. It's addictive. So if anyone wants a bit of fun, that would be the way to go. And they're already into a series 2 on that and a series 3 on the larger craft. So yeah, anyone who's getting into something or they want to get into something, these things are a lot of fun and they're easy to collect and they're easy to display. So
nice, man. That no, seriously. Those are really cool. I think again that should about do it again, Steve. Thank you for coming on.
no
Hoping to
problem.
have you on the channel again soon. And oh, real quick, as the thing as the thing I started, would you like to promote yourself by letting people know where they can find you on social media?
Oh, well, you can find me on Instagram and you can find me under shit spackled Muppet Fart.
I love
And
that name.
I'm still on there with it. They haven't shut me down. So I'm going to keep it. I think it hinders me lately because of the of the name. But hey, I love it. It makes people laugh, and that's why we do what we do, right? All about having fun, all about putting smiles on. So look me up on Instagram, shit speckled Muppet Fart. You can see some of the toys and stuff and collectibles that I'll post every now and then. Um, and that's it. That's it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
it for me on social media. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Yeah. And as always, once again, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.